The pursuit, week 4, complete. We are officially 1/4 of the way done with our marathon prep, which means we are more than 1/4 done with Hyrox prep. So, Patrick, how's it feel? That's an accomplishment. 4 weeks done.
It feels really good. Um, just here chugging some electrolytes, well-deserved electrolytes from this past week. This week was a battle. Especially, I'm not calling him out, but for Big Bro T, he was fighting some particular demons that took a lot more effort, I think, and it's just showing like it's gradually getting more difficult. But like once again, we were kind of expecting that. And it's just more so really about recovery. We're learning now and just taking care of our bodies because it's getting real. The miles are getting up there, the workouts are getting up there, but all in all, feeling really good. Um, yeah, fill us in on your week, Tristan.
Yeah, so for context, this was the first week where we had 6 days of running. And granted, one of the days was only a 3 mile easy run, but like my legs were just cooked so early on this week. We had a tempo day early on in the week that was, I think it was 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off, six
Hmm.
sets. Yeah, because it was 18 minutes of hard work. And Patrick just blew me out of the water with his times. And when I did it, I felt like I was working hard. Like there's a difference between sometimes like, oh, I'm going fast and I could have gone faster, where like this one I really did push and I just didn't have it that day. And then we also had a running day interval base where it was what 2K warm up and then a 5K all out and then a 2K cool down. And when I did it, I was constrained by time, which again, just on me for not getting up as early as I needed to be. So I started with 1K warm up and then the 5K, and I bailed on the 5K after 2.2 miles into it. The route I was on, and this could just be all excuses because I truly think it is mostly mental, and it just shows how much further I need to go mentally. But you suffer in a 5K, and the route I had about zero point 0.7 miles into my 5K was just really uphill. So then by that point, I'm pushing uphill. It was then I was holding on for the next mile and a half until I ultimately bailed, and it's just I wasn't mentally strong enough to keep going, and it beats me up. Like I don't like how that happened, but that's just a reality. And we talked last week where the cool thing about these sort of preps is it's not defined by one day. It's every day leads into the final day, which is the culmination, which is the race day. So in that sense, I've already moved on from, hey, you bailed on a 5K, you failed that day. I still completed the miles. Like I was on the trail. I couldn't just get in my car and leave. But from a performance perspective, I definitely failed. But in that sense, it's the days continued, and we're still moving on to week 5 this coming week. But yeah, I mean, even just talking workouts, like my legs just felt cooked all week. We had a squat day that I did. So I did the 5K in the morning, and then I squatted that afternoon. So that was Wednesday, and I mean, I woke up Thursday, Friday, like my glutes, my legs were just destroyed. Thankfully, Saturday I felt pretty good for the long run, but I was just cooked like all week. So, it's
Yeah.
definitely just I've kind of been going even before this prep. Like, so we've done we're close to like 130 miles in this prep in these 4 weeks, and I had been building mileage before that. So it's just been a steady like 6 to 8 weeks of like true work. And
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely feel like I'm getting stronger, but like this was a tough week. And that's all
Yeah.
it is.
And just a few things with that, like the miles and workouts, like I said, are definitely adding up. And so once again, we're taking, at least I am taking, and I know Tristan already is more so than me. That's why I'm saying it this way, but taking recovery a lot more serious in like every aspect, like hydration directly after working out. Like I'm spending 20 to 30 more minutes just stretching and like seeing how my body feels just because I know tomorrow and the next day it's just going to keep building and keep adding up. So that's getting really important. And I liked something that you said, like about the 5K, like you didn't finish, but like you eventually got all the miles. Like Jocko said it, it's just on those days, it's just like going through the motions still. Like the workouts and numbers will still add up, they'll still be there. And if you just finish through, even if it's Like I told you that one workout in the gym for 247, like I had to stop probably 6 or 7 times each row just to like finish it. But like it's just finishing it and going through the motions. 5K was definitely the hardest workout for me. That was insanity. Basically, just a sprint for 24 minutes. Um, and yeah, lastly, just the more and more we're getting.
Less than 24 minutes. You had a good time.
Yeah. I'll give myself some credit and you. But also just getting more invested in this, and the deeper we go into both of these preps, like it is just more and more prevalent that it's all mental. Like our bodies could feel like absolute dog shit, but it's mental.
It's insane how much it is. So on the long run was 12 miles this week. And I started it later in the day than I wanted to. So it had already heated up a little bit, just temperature wise. And I was less than a mile in, and a guy ran by me. And he's like, "Pick it up, big guy." And this was uphill. And I was like, man, like, I said something back. I was like, yeah. And I was like, and then he said it again. And I said, I have a long way to go. And he's like, and by that point, we had gotten to the downhill part, so I had to speed up to get next to him. And he's like, "Well, how far are you going?" I was like, 12 miles. And he was just doing one lap, which one lap was 7.5 miles. And I ended up running with him the whole way. And he was a better runner than I am. And like, if you look at my splits for the first 7 miles, like, I was working. Like, I definitely went faster than I thought or than I expected, but it was good. Like, I'm happy I did it that way. But then, like, when I ran alone for the last 5 miles, like, I was just cooked. And I think that was more mental than not. But some of those miles turned into like a run walk, like, just wanted to be done. I also forgot a water. I was definitely like, I was fighting dehydration big time on that run, but
Is
still proud
everything
of it.
okay at home, Tristan? You're usually not forgetting things like this. You're usually not waking up late.
Well, it was funny. I was on the highway and I realized I didn't have my running water bottle. I was just like, God, this is gonna suck. But I didn't want to turn around because I was already like 10 minutes in my drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are your other highs and lows of the week?
I think having a good kick in the butt like that guy, like that happened for a reason, you know? Like that's
Well, that's
a good thing. And it's pretty random, which is cool. And I think that's needed sometimes, especially when you're doing something like this. Um, but highs of the week was at 5K and low of the week was at 5K. Finishing that was like a really good feeling. I'm not trying to rub it in, bro. I'm just giving you my highs
yeah.
and lows. um, but yeah, finishing that just because it was grueling and it was like kind of middle of the day, like you were describing your last run. It was like 3 in the afternoon in Dallas, which is like 105 degrees, or in Houston, sorry, which is worse. Um, and yeah, just getting through that, didn't think like each mile, it was like, oh my God, I have another one. And just getting through each one was like a big barrier breaking thing. So definitely the 5K. What about you?
Yeah. The lows for me were definitely both the interval days. Mainly just looking at my times and performance compared to you, which again, that's why we like doing this. Like, this is a instant and immediate like source of accountability,
Slap in the
comparison.
face.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And it's all good. It's all motivating. It doesn't like discourage me. It's more just, I'm not doing this by myself. So I have someone that's pushing me, and that's good. And at the same time, it brings out these emotions in me that like, hey, I didn't perform how I would have wanted to, and that upsets me. Uh, Other high, well, I guess my high was more just pushing through, like how tired my legs were all week, and reaching the point that Saturday my legs actually felt good. So it shows that the body, or my body, is recovering and getting more used to it. Just the day in, day out of kind of punishing it, just miles on a trail or in the gym lifting and doing the circuit workouts, that eventually, like, the recovery is just going to get faster as we get more used to it. So in that sense, I was pretty nervous about the 12-mile run, but overall I feel pretty good about it. So I guess that is the overall high. And I guess, like, not feeling like I'm dealing with any injuries at the moment is definitely a good feeling for me, because we've had 3 straight 30-mile weeks, and then I was mid 20s before that. So that's a lot of miles where I was kind of thinking that I'd have feet problem, I'd have ankles problem, but I haven't. So I definitely feel good that like we've officially done 1 month of training and can still like just keep stacking days.
Yep, totally agree. And I think the workouts and everything are going to get harder. So physically, it's going to get harder, but mentally, as we just continue to stack, it's easy. It's fun.
Yeah.
So
So let's swing things into next week. And our BPN marathon plan is picking up. We talked that this would happen. And where a 4 mile easy run has been the easy run standard, it's now 5 miles. So that's, if you're doing that twice a week, that's 2 extra miles just on 2 days. And there's also 5 days of running in this plan. And last week we did 6 because there was a little less mileage, but with the increase in mileage, we're just going to do the BPN running, and then we're going to have the 247 stuff in the gym. But we have 5 mile easy, we have 800-meter repeats, which that's going to be a lot of fun. Track day, and I say that pretty sarcastically. We're definitely going to suffer. And then it is another easy run, and then a 4 mile, I'll call it like recovery run, and then the long run this week is 13 miles. So again, it totals lower 30s from a mileage perspective, and then we'll be in the gym at least 2 days. With 3 days in the gym at least, and honestly, me just talking about myself, I was telling Patrick this before we started recording. I think I need to do more in the gym, like from just extra stuff as far as like getting on a bike and just pedaling for 30 minutes, like some low card or some zone 2 cardio, like low heart rate stuff, just to like flush out the legs and just continue to build endurance, and then just some other strength stuff that is not necessarily circuit based, like Hyrox focused, but will help me gain strength so that I can better perform in the Hyrox side of things. So that's going to be a focus of mine, where maybe I'm not doing a full 2 a day, as in like going in and doing a full like Hyrox circuit based workout, but I will be in the gym on the days that we don't have a quote unquote Hyrox workout, and like being on a bike or just doing a couple lifts. So that's where I'm at overall, feeling good.
and
And
that loops back to just being smart and recovering. Like take a
yeah,
bike day if needed. It's getting real now. It was always real, but we're a month in. We really can't afford anything bad to happen. So yeah, I'm in the same boat. Completely agree. Um, adjust it if needed, but just get it done.
yep. So week 4, 1 month complete. Week 5 starts tomorrow. The pursuit. Let's go.